Hey researchers, welcome to Psych in the Dining Room with Ms. Hammond, brought to you by TechSmith Relay's complete inability to respond to any of my tech support requests. Thanks guys. So today, this week, you are going to be writing the rough draft of your survey. Now, this is just a rough draft. It doesn't have to be perfect. You will get feedback from your peers initially and me for the full version of the rough draft. But you should know a couple things about how to write surveys. So I'm just going to go over a couple different types of question formats so that you have a better idea about what you should be writing. Now, some of you are using the survey or the question or the measurement scales that that I provided. That is a really great opportunity because it saves you a ton of work and they tend to be more reliable and valid than anything you can write yourself. And that's not because you guys are bad, it's just because you guys are not as experienced with research as the people who wrote these measurements. So whether you are measuring like wisdom or need for cognition or sort of tech acceptance, whatever it is, if you can use one of those measurements systems, that's a good idea. But you still probably are going to have to add a couple questions so you can gather demographic information about your participants or to measure some sort of variable that you couldn't find a measurement for. So if that's the case and you're going to be writing your own measurement, it's important when you're writing survey questions to avoid leading questions. And this is for all different types of survey questions. Avoid leading questions. So leading questions would be something like, do you agree that it is important to not kill animals when they go to shelters? That's a leading question. So it's about animal euthanasia and but it's like clearly it's leading someone into the direction of no, I do not support that. That's bad. So you don't want to lead people into answering a certain way because that's going to influence your results, and then your measurement stinks. You don't want that. So avoid that. Also avoid double-barreled questions. This would be something like, I love cats and all other types of animals, and then you rate your agreement to disagreement. Well, that's actually two questions squished into one. You don't want to do that because what if somebody likes other types of animals but not cats? What if somebody only likes cats and doesn't like other types of animals? If you were to split those questions up into two, then you would be able to kind of understand the nuances of people's opinions about cats and other animals. But what question as is squishes everything together and gives you unclear results. So avoid double-barreled questions. You also want to avoid negative wording. So you could say something like on a survey like, I never don't like cats. Okay, well that's just confusing because, it's a double negative. First of all, it's just not good English. And second of all, it confuses people because if you're like rating, then it's like, oh, I want it a lot, but then it's a little, it is okay to what's called reverse code your question. So if you state something negatively like, I don't like cats, agree or disagree, that's okay because sometimes it's a good idea to have like a reverse coded question in there just so that you can like catch people who are just, going down the line and just responding 7 to everything. You know that if somebody responds 7 to everything and like one question is like, I really like cats, and the other question is, I don't really like cats, and they responded 7 to both of those, one of them means strongly agree, one of them means strongly disagree because of the way it's worded. So then okay, I'm going to throw out this person because this person wasn't paying attention to the survey, therefore this data is bad. So you're like, goodbye. Side note, if you ever throw out data, make sure you say what you throw out and why you threw it out in your methods section and in your discussion section. Don't leave that information out. It's unethical. So that's what you want to avoid. So what do you want to do while you're writing these surveys? Well, first, there's a couple different types of questions you could write when you are building your survey. First, you could write an open-ended question. This is something like, how do you feel about cats? do you like cats? And then just have a text box and like let your participants just like write all their feelings about cats. That is an open-ended question. This is what's called, this gives you what's called qualitative data, which is essentially not numbers, words. So if I was to respond to this, people are like, how do you feel about cats? I would probably say something like, I love cats. Cats are the best. They're so cute and fuzzy, and I like watching cat videos. And my cat, Sasha, is the best. And my former cat, Angel, was super cute too, even though she was a jerk. Lots of information there, right? More information than you probably know what to do with if you just wanted to know, like, do you like cats, yes or no? So that's an open-ended question. You have to be careful with those. They can give you lots of rich data, some really great qualitative quotes and information to kind of, color your, results in with, but it's kind of beyond the scope of this class. Qualitative data is just, you end up with so much and you're just like, I don't know what to do with this. So that's one type of question. The other type of question is called a forced choice question. So a forced choice question is another type of categorical data, but it is, it's like one example is like, do you like cats? Yes or no? Yes is one category. No is the other category. It's forced choice. You have to pick one of the options. There's no third option. You have to say yes or no. Maybe if you're feeling fancy, you could do yes, no, maybe. But you have to pick one of those questions. So that's a forced choice. It's forcing you to choose. And it's a lot easier to deal with in terms of like statistical analysis. There's a lot to do with categorical data. All right. Third type of question is a Likert or Likert type scale. So this gives you qualitative data. It's usually a ordinal or a ratio scale of measurement for those statisticians out there. So a Likert scale is traditionally a 1 to 7 scale, and on the one end it's anchored with strongly disagree, and on the 7 end it's anchored with strongly disagree. So if you give like a 6, it means you agree with whatever statement. So I like cats 1 through 7. 6 for me it would probably be a 7 because I really like cats. I very strongly agree that I like cats. The 4 would indicate that you are neutral. You do not have an opinion. Now, you don't actually necessarily have to have that 4 in there. You can just do 1 through 6, and then it forces people to like take a side. So if you want to know whether people like cats or don't like cats, like you don't want any of this like no opinion nonsense, you can just do 1 through 6, and they would have to make a choice. They would either have to do a 3 that indicates they don't really like cats, but they don't feel that strongly about it, or a 4, which they kind of like cats, but they don't really feel that strongly about it. You all just do this with like 1 through 5 or 1 through 4. So a Likert scale is 1 through 7. A Likert type scale is any other number. So if you get rid of the 0, you can force people to have an opinion. But sometimes people just don't actually have an opinion. Like, especially for something like, do you like cats? It's not that important. So it's like, it doesn't really matter if there's a 0 or not. But if it's something more important that you really want people to sort of have an opinion about, or you want to measure people's opinion, even if it's like a small opinion, like so let's say you're researching something controversial, like abortion and women's reproductive rights. I mean, you could force people to have an opinion. Maybe they don't care that much, but they kind of are against abortion or kind of for choice, whatever it is. That's an option. All right, then similar to a Likert scale, finally we have the semantic differential, which is instead of anchored by agree and disagree, it's anchored by adjectives. So if you, let's say you have a scale, you're like, what kind of person are you? And on like one end at the 1, you have dog person. And then at the other end, you have cat person or whatever it is. You could do like, I'm a 10, I'm a cat person. Or you could do like, I'm 1, I'm a dog person. And so that's something that you can do. You can also do something like, are you like honest? Yes, I'm quite honest. No, I'm not honest. Whatever it is, you can anchor it with adjectives instead of agreements. So that's a basic rundown of the like types of survey questions. We're going to go into more detail next week, but I just wanted you guys to have a little bit of this information so that you're able to feel pretty confident writing up your drafts of your surveys. Keep in mind, I will be giving you guys each individualized feedback for your surveys once you turn them in. So turn them in on time so that I can, on Friday, so that I can get them back to you as quickly as I possibly can. Anyway, thank you for joining me in my dining room for this fun overview of surveys. I will talk to you guys soon. If you have any questions, email me or make an appointment for office hours. Can't wait to see you guys. Bye.